YouTube is Alex Devonce, and tonight, I'm going to talk to you about the Chris Brown interview. What was up with that damn bow tie? But anyway, I want to give a shout out to DJ Assassin 313 on Twitter for asking me to do this topic. It's a topic I've thought about doing, but I really didn't want to touch it. But since Chris Brown wanted to go ahead and open up a can of worms, hey, why not dig in? Alright, first and foremost, let me tell you, I am a Chris Brown fan, and when the allegations and the pictures and all that came out, I still stood behind Chris Brown 100%. And under normal circumstances, when we hear that a man has hit a woman and that there has been any type of domestic issue, we normally are like, oh no, let's call the lynching mob, this is wrong. And as a young woman, this is something you don't want to experience on your own, and you don't really want to wish on somebody else, because abuse is a very serious thing. We are all rallying behind Chris Brown, or a good percentage of us are, and another percentage of us are like, nah, that ain't gonna fly. What I'd like you all to think about is how we have several entertainers today that have had allegations and several things put against them, and their careers are back or they're coming back. The most, you know, prolific one that I can say that's most directly or even close to it is Chris Brown's idol, Michael Jackson. In life, we criticize Michael because, Michael was a pedophile. Michael did all these things, and, he was weird, but, it's as Kanye said, nobody gets the roses while they can still smell them. And now, in his death, he's become back on top. And he had, like, on iTunes, I don't know if y'all looked back at it or whatever, but number one, Thriller, number two, all these different records that he had over the years, and they were all filling the iTunes charts as the most purchased albums, and so everybody went through that whole Michael Jackson phase, and oh, we're so diehard fans, but where were you when he was alive and he was in pain, he was hurting? Then a lot of people want to compare him to OJ. Now look, OJ, they said if the glove doesn't fit, y'all know it, you must have quit. Johnny Cochran, y'all niggas out of luck today if y'all killing people, because Johnny Cochran definitely helps out in that situation. And OJ basically was accused of killing his wife. Did he do it? I don't know, but he wrote a book called If He Did It, and this he was. I just don't even know where to start on OJ. I don't think anybody does. And then we have people like R.Kelly. I really can't listen to R.Kelly's music the way that I once enjoyed it, the way that I once liked it, because every time I listen to some of his songs, I'm thinking, well, is he talking about a grown woman or is he talking about a 14-year-old female? You know, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how technical, if this was said or, oh, that wasn't me. That was him. And that was a child. And that's wrong. And he's walking around free as a bird, trying to resurrect his career, doing pretty okay because he has a song with Carrie Hilson called Number One that's pretty hot, which I admit that I do like, but it's kind of a guilty pleasure because I'm not sure I should be really enjoying a pedophile's music. And yes, I am a psychology major and I understand that it is an illness. I understand this, that, and the other, but in the same sense, I still don't respect it. I don't have to respect it. What we don't realize is we're putting all these people on pedestals, but we're so easily to cast the first stone. But what if it was us in those situations? Wouldn't we want people to be on our side? Wouldn't we want people to rally behind us? Because you know what? We all make mistakes. No one is perfect. We're freaking human. Okay? We're human. Just get over it. You're human. Chris Brown is a human. Did he hit Rihanna? Probably so. Does he regret it? More than likely. And I'm not saying that he regrets it just because of his career. He's a young man. He was in an abusive home. He saw abuse. And you know what? Sometimes people reenact what they see. And not to say that it's a right thing to do, but sometimes it's one of those things that it's a split second and you don't really know. But one more point that I'd like to point out is he's driving the Lambo, right? It's a stick shift. How is he shifting gears and punching her at the same time? What hand is on the steering wheel? I mean that's a little bit complex for me. You got to explain that to me. There are a lot of things that we don't know about that night, that we will never know about that night, and it's the context of their relationship. If they wanted us to know what happened, they would tell us. Just like you don't want everybody in your relationship, maybe, just maybe, they don't want everybody in their relationship. And what happened between them is something that they're going to take to their graves with them. And if they do one day decide to talk about it at a later date, then that's on them. But for us to sit and speculate and to say all the things about Chris Brown and all the things about Rihanna, we don't know what happened. So I ask all of you to keep an open mind when judging people. Unless you are presented with the hardcore facts, with all of the answers, do not judge people. And, you know, I do think that the Larry King interview for Chris Brown was a bad look. He should not have done it because there was no point of going and doing an interview when you already knew what the questions were going to be, what the questions were going to pertain to. You know, you went on a show to answer the $1 million question and you did not deliver. You skirted it. You said that you didn't feel that it was appropriate to answer these questions. Well, why did you do the interview? You don't see Rihanna doing interviews. You see her out living her life. Hey, I'm sorry, I had to do the little yodel thing. I know it was terrible, but she don't sound too much better. So, again, people, stop being judgmental. Live your lives. Have fun. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, by all means, do so. It is at Devonce. Devonce is spelled Devonce, and I hope to hear from you. Give me topics, and I love you. Kisses and good night.